Right, it's 3 o'clock, we're live, are you there?
Yeah, I'm on my way, Hiya. I'm here, just sorting Christmas rubbish out before we start. Good afternoon and welcome to Stepford. Christmas, run up to Christmas, my favourite run. So is anybody there? We got anybody alive yet? Who have we got?
Can't see at the moment.
We can't see at the moment.
No. The faces are too small for me to see.
Oh right, so they're just shooting up.
Yeah.
Smashing. Okay, well hello everybody. We've got Fabio who's going to be the run up to
Winnie the
Christmas.
Pooh? Who'd think?
Who's Winnie the Pooh? And don't swear.
Sorry.
You swore last week, no swearing.
There's quite a few people. I can't.
Right.
They're too small.
Okay, so we're going to do, starts to run up to Christmas now. So,
Steve's there, said hello.
Steve who?
Steve.
Oh, hello Steve.
The runner.
My darling. The jogger. So it's the run up to Christmas, so it's going to be the first job of Christmas today, which is going to make, we're going to make the Christmas cake, which has got to be the very first thing you do. I'm actually a week late with it, but a week here or there is not going to make that much difference. So come on, let's go through to the kitchen and I'll stop telling you about it. Come on.
He said, I'm not too small, how dare you?
Well, I know. But you're ginger, Steve, so, you know, it's
Raymond said hi.
Hi, Raymond.
JJ Colby, hello, sexy mama.
Hello, JJ, that's very nice.
Is he watching somebody else?
Shut up, you. Oh,
Maxine, hiya.
Hi, Max. Oh, God, I've dropped my glasses. I'll just get another pair off there. It's much easier. I never bend down.
Philip said, afternoon, my lovelies.
Which Philip?
He's just sent...
Dobby and Philip.
He's just sent a picture of all his Christmas stuff.
God.
On our chat.
Oh, lovely. Right, so...
Lee B.
Hiya, Lee. Hello, my
Hello,
darling.
Nana and David. Hiya, love.
On a Sunday. Nice to see you. For some reason, I can't get my frigging apron closed.
Anita. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Anita. Yeah? Right, so I'm going to grab just...
James Blake, afternoon, lovelies. Afternoon,
hello, James.
Cody. Hi.
Who?
Cody.
Cody. Oh, well, that's a new one. Right, we're going to make Christmas cake, which is...
Hi, Jamie.
To me... Hello, Jamie, darling. To me, a homemade Christmas cake is an absolute must. I can't think of anything physically worse, even from a high-end store, than to have a shop-bought Christmas cake or a store-bought cake of any description. I think it's absolutely foul. None of them taste right. They have too much of the cheaper ingredients in them, i.e. cherries and candied peel, which really bulks it up. No matter what store you buy it from, even an artisan store will do that because it costs them less money. The way I do it, it's quicker, it's easier, and it doesn't matter. We'll bake the cake today, but obviously you're not going to see it completely finished because it takes 4 hours in the oven, okay? So we're going to make it, put it in the oven, and then on forthcoming shows, from now to Christmas, you'll see how we do it, and then how we ice it we'll do right near Christmas. I usually do that about no more than 4 or 5 days before Christmas Eve. It's the easiest thing you can do, and it doesn't matter when you get to the icing point that you're not good at icing or anything like that, because I'll show you a quick and easy way to do that. It doesn't matter if it looks a mess, it's the fact you made it. And a Christmas cake is a traditional, I couldn't say that then, a traditional British thing. It's our thing, where in America it's Christmas cookies, which was because of all the influx of all the immigrants that went to live in America. The Germans brought cookies with it because it's a German tradition to do cookies. Our big thing are mince pies and Christmas cake. So you've got to make a Christmas cake, and if you can't follow this one, there's something wrong because it's so easy to do.
Chris Conway said hi.
Hi, Chris. Hello, darling.
Anthony Boland said hi. Adele said hey. Lee Leby said, did you see what the girlies did for my birthday with the Manchester tart? Do you approve?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was absolutely lovely, Lee, to do your little individual. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. That was lovely. I'm just going to show you a little trick here. Oh, I've got the kettle on. Just a minute, you'll realise why I've got the kettle on.
Nigel, hi, Terry and David.
Hi, Nigel. These are shower caps, okay? When I tell you to cover something over or you're raising bread, these are 12 for $1.99 on eBay. They're disposable shower caps, and they fit, you see, over bowls. So you don't have to waste saran wrap or anything like that, and it keeps things fresh. Okay? So that's my little tip.
Hi, JJ, thank you.
That JJ. What's
Colby.
he said?
Saying hello to me as I don't get a mention.
He always gets a mention, JJ.
Right, there's someone named William here. He said, you won't remember me, but I knew you back in the Glenn Stevens days at the New York. I'm still in love with you. Don't tell Anthony. She gets very jealous.
I've not got a clue what that is.
You'll read it back and see.
Oh my God. It's not
Mine,
like
Paul.
to get jealous now. Right, in the...
Are you Dean?
Which Dean? McGrath?
Dean Ellis.
Oh, Dean Ellis. Hello, Dean.
How's Joey?
So
hope he's doing fine.
Don't be asking questions about people till we've got through this, then you can join in later. Right. Okay, in this bowl, which I listed on Facebook, I did put the ingredients. And what you're going to do is, the night before, so if you're going to do this cake today, this is what you need to do first. This has to be a 24-hour soak. And in this bowl, follow gradually now, you have got 11 ounces of raisins, yeah, 9 ounces of currants, 12 ounces of sultanas, 1 ounce of chopped almonds, half the zest of an orange, half the zest of a lemon, 2 heaped dessert spoonfuls of mincemeat. If you've not made your own mincemeat for mince pies, buy a good one, not a cheap one. That's the twist in this. It's the mincemeat that contains, I'll tell you why that in a minute. So you've got 2 heaped dessert tablespoons of mincemeat. Then you've got 4 tablespoons of brandy, 4 tablespoons of port, a pinch of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Right? That's all gone in the bowl, like this. David, come in so they can see. And as you put it in the bowl, it looks really dry because the fruit's dry, and then you cover it, mix it well, cover that, and leave it overnight. That's been there from about 7 o'clock last night, okay? In a warm place. Don't put it somewhere cold, don't be tempted to put it in the fridge, anything like that. Keep it somewhere warm so it really is at room temperature, okay? And that will marinate them. Then you're going to make the cake, okay, which that goes into.
Val said hi from Edinburgh.
Hello, Val. Are you my God, you're still in Edinburgh, love. I only thought you were going for a day.
Phil Brealey said hi, sweetheart.
Oh,
missing you
Phil.
both. Miss you too, Phil.
I'm so pleased you're on there. The very handsome Mr. Braley. How lovely for you to be watching. How fabulous.
A shower cap, Paul.
What? Paul's asked what that was. It's a shower cap.
Or a Dutch cap, he said.
No, it's not a Dutch cap. It's a shower cap. I use shower caps to cover things. Not Dutch caps. They're not picky. Right. So, your mixing bowl from your mixer. If you haven't got an electric mixer, this is going to take some work. Trust me on that. Okay. First thing to do is get an empty bowl with a dessert spoon we're using today. Not a tablespoon, a dessert spoon. And just, you'll see why in a moment. Put some boiling water right from the kettle in it and leave the spoon in it so the spoon gets hot. Okay? So in this bowl, you are going to put 8 ounces of plain flour. If you were making a sponge cake, we'd use self-raising flour and raisin agents. This cake, because it's such a long, slow bake, you don't need the raisin agent because it's not a cake that rises immensely. It doesn't do that.
Phil's asking a question.
Yeah, go on, Phil.
He wants to know any specific butter to use, salted or unsalted.
I use salted, darling. I just use the cheap. I use real butter, but I will use the cheapest butter that there is. So usually Store's own brand.
So it doesn't really matter if it's salted,
doesn't matter,
does it?
darling. It really doesn't.
You've had enough salt anyway, Phil.
Yeah.
In your life.
I bet you have. Right, that's enough of that. So then you've got 8 ounces of plain flour, 8 ounces of butter, because I've just been asked, there you go, the 8 ounces of butter goes in. 8 ounces of soft brown sugar. This is Muscovado sugar. It's not Demerara. Demerara is like brown granulated sugar. This has a high molasses content in it, so it sticks together as you press it. So dark Muscovado sugar, and that is also 8 ounces straight in. Then you've got 2 ounces of chopped almonds, straight in the bowl. 4 eggs, straight in the bowl. Now you'll see why.
With the everything, what? Not just yolks.
No, 4 full eggs.
Full
if
eggs.
I was in yolks, I'd have said yolks, love. Okay.
Steve Burkett said hi.
Right. The reason you've heated your spoon up is because you're going to need A dessert spoon, again, not the tablespoon measure, it's a dessert spoon that you eat your cereal with, okay? You need a dessert spoon of black treacle, or as I'm using, molasses. And if you heat the spoon, it makes it slide off quickly like that. Okay?
Amazing, these things that
Isn't
you,
it?
that
Isn't
you,
it?
that you
See,
think
if
of.
the spoon's cold, it grabs to the spoon an awful lot. And then whip the spoon back in your hot water so you don't have it sticky and all over the place. Let me just shunk that out of the wine. So, all your ingredients are in there. That's how it looks. Everything's in. We're going to put that in the mixer, and what I've done is I've put the mixer in the pantry so that I can turn it on.
See, Lee, people need to know this sort of thing. Could have just been the egg yolks, but no, it's not.
Right, that goes on high speed now, and it'll take about 4 minutes. So you want it to whip till it's light, which I'll show you in a minute. We've put it in there because we have that much noise with the mixer, none of you can hear what I'm saying. So we shall just leave that to go while I tell you about cake tin. This is an 8-inch round loose bottom tin that the bottom pushes out. If you've not got a loose bottom tin, that's fine. Double line. Can you bring the camera in slightly, darling? Not so you can't see me because I've got to tell you. Double line the tin. Yeah, the bottom, we've buttered the tin heavily, then 2 circles of baking parchment in the bottom and a double piece round the inside. Then re-butter the whole thing. Everything must be well greased. Then round the edge, use either brown paper, newspaper, or as I've done, because I don't allow newspapers in the house because they make a mess, and they allow, what's it called, the ink comes off and it goes all over my furniture, so I won't allow it. I use old wallpaper samples. So just a piece of wallpaper, fold it in half and tie it on. Don't tape it. If you tape it, the tape will pop in the oven and it will come off, okay? When you've double lined all your tin...
Paul said he loves your pink card, it matches your green pinny.
Oh, thank you, my darling. God bless
Phil
you.
Whitehead. No,
Phil Whitehead.
Not any loose bottom, Paul.
Then make 2 circles of, again, baking parchment that fit the top. So you just draw around it, you know what I mean? And you can see that's not even. And then fold them into 4, cut the centre out so there's a hole in it. Yeah? You'll see why in a minute. So we're just going to check that. Got 1 more minute.
Paul said, do you eat nut butter, whatever that is?
Nut butter. I've used nut butter. I quite like it actually.
What is it?
It's like peanut butter, but it's just mixed nuts that make a butter. And you can use, I've never eaten it on its own. I've used it in, I've got about 2 or 3 recipes that use nut butter in things. And it's quite hard to get actually at times. Where did I buy it from last time? I think it was Sainsbury's. I think I bought it from last time. This will be done, let me get it.
I'm waiting here. Just noticed the wine fridge, we need to stock up on that.
What though?
I'm talking.
The wine fridge is virtually empty. It's after Thanksgiving. Everything's being run down now, isn't it, for Christmas? So there's your cake mix. Okay, so you'll get a lovely dark caramelly coloured thing, and you've whipped it. Whip it till it's light like this. You see? Okay. Then your fruit, all of it is going to go in. So lob your fruit in.
When do you put my cherries in?
Half that time. There's no cherries in it, as you well know, because I don't like cherries.
I like cherries.
I hate cherries in things. Fold. Don't whip the fruit in, okay? And you'll find it if you do half of the fruit at a time will be easier. Okay? And fold in with a metal spoon. Use a big metal spoon because it's too stiff to start using a wooden spoon or snap in half. A spatula's not strong enough. Then the other half in.
I missed. Did you have them soaked in something overnight?
Yeah, you've just missed what I said.
Yeah, I wasn't listening, to be honest.
There's 2 tablespoons of brandy in it
and
2 tablespoons of port. Now, if I'm being really honest with you, it was more like 4 tablespoons of brandy.
Yeah, you need to be able to taste
and
it.
4 tablespoons of, but you don't because it cooks away. You're not going to taste it. I just find it moistens the fruit quicker. Because once the cake, now make sure as you're stirring, you can see it's getting really difficult for me to turn it.
Yes, definitely, Steve. I need to go and top it up.
Once. Into your tin.
Jane said, hiya, Nana.
Which Jane?
Hodges.
Oh, hello, Janie.
Phil Brealey says, I bet it smells gorgeous.
It does, Phil. Last night, the whole house, I could smell everything. I had other things cooking last night because I'd pre-done today's dinner, which I'll tell you why in a minute. And then I had all this fruit that was marinated. It was absolutely gorgeous. It smelled like Christmas.
Christmas cake, Scott.
So, smooth over. If you've not caught the beginning of the show, we're not repeating. You should be there at 3
Scott's
o'clock.
just asking, he's missed it. Mary Lowe's said, hiya, Terry.
Hi, Mary.
Hiya, Mary.
Smooth your top out, but don't be tempted to press it, okay? Just get a nice evenish thing, and then move the middle so there's a slight
dip,
like that, slight indentation.
To make that.
Don't
That's
waste
why you got
it.
the hole in the paper.
No, that's because the cake will rise in the middle and get a dome. And when you're going to ice the cake and store it, you're going to use the reverse. You never use the top of the cake unless you don't like icing. Then at this point, you would put whole blanched almonds all the way across, make a nice design before it goes in the oven. Then you can eat it as it is. I like it marzipan-iced, okay? When you've done that, drop your little circles in the top. Don't press them. Don't make that, press it. You need it. All that does is it's going to protect the cake. This is why this is wrapped as well. It doesn't burn in the oven when somebody's going to say, oh, the paper's going to burn. I said you can use newspaper, brown paper, anything you want tied on. You've got to protect the casing of this because otherwise the outside of the cake will be dry and hard and it will burn. Because this now is going to go into a preheated oven. Fan, this week I know the difference. If you're a non-fan assisted oven, it's 140. If it's a fan assisted oven, it's 125. Okay? So mine's going to go in a fan assisted oven at 125. And that now goes in there for 4 hours. Don't open the oven within the 4 hours. Okay? If you open the oven within the 4 hours, so this is now, it's 20 past 3. So I will not touch the oven. I can't work out.
20 past 7.
That'll be 20 past 7. So at 20 past 7, I'll open the oven and have a look, okay? When you open the oven, just put your finger, take the paper off the top, just put your finger on the top. If you could press the cake slightly and it springs back, it's virtually done. Get a toothpick, shove the toothpick in, bring it out. If the toothpick is clean, that there's no cake stuck to it, it's done. Take the cake from the oven and allow it to cool in the tin. Don't take it out the tin. Allow it to cool in the tin for 45 minutes, okay? Then take it from the tin and let it go freezing cold. Okay, just leave it on a wire rack, let it go cold. You know, if you're going to go to bed, if you've done it at a timing like I have, just drape a dish towel over the top of it, just to,
clean one.
Yeah, clean one, preferably not a dirty one. Put a dirty one over it. And then, once that is cold, you then wrap it into a double sheet of baking parchment, and then wrap the baking parchment in foil. Put it inside an airtight tin, and then every 3 to 4 days, to the run up to Christmas now, open the tin, open everything up so you can see the top of the cake, which will be the bottom of the cake. So reverse it before you wrap it up. So what was the bottom becomes the top. And then make some little holes in the top with a cocktail stick and spoon in about 2 tablespoons of brandy or port, whichever is your little tipple or what you like to prefer the taste of. Don't use whiskey. Whiskey will give a really over moist taste. Brandy or port or anything of that colour, certainly not whiskey.
So that answered your question, Phil.
And then make the holes and feed it every sort of 3 days. And then when you get to Christmas and you open the tin the week before, the smell is just divine. Okay? And that's Christmas cake. And it really is, I told you, a quick way of doing it. Everybody thinks it's one of these jobs that takes forever and a day. And it does, if you watch these idiots on the television. I mean, I'm not saying Delia's an idiot, because I love Delia's Christmas cake recipe. It's just everything, they make everything into a performance and a pantomime, and I can't be doing with that. Who's got the time? Do you know what I mean? I haven't got the time to be doing all that, cream this in first, and then add this, and half an egg at a time, and all that carry on. So over years and years and years, I've sort of fiddled that recipe around and balanced it out. Now, if you want to add, you do want to add cherries into it, you would add 50 grams of cherries, but reduce the sultanas by 50 grams, okay? So we've just put, I forgot how much.
See you later, Phil. Phil Brealey's going.
He's got to go. So we had 250 of each of the fruit, sorry we didn't. We had, because I'm doing now grams, that's why that was it. I don't know why grams were in my head. Yeah, just reduce by 50 on your sultanas and then put that amount of cherries back. Don't overdo the cherries. If you put too many cherries in it, where the cherry's inside the cake, it's not a cherry genoa cake, which is a different thing. The cherry will separate the cake and you'll get holes round the thing, which looks vile when you cut it. Okay? So, that's Christmas cake. Done and dusted.
Lee Levy's got a question about the brandy. That she said 2. Can't you just free pour?
Well, you could. You could. Don't overdo it.
No, it'll wet it too much, I suppose, won't it?
You've hit the nail on the head, darling. That's the reason.
Being a chef myself, you see.
Well, of course. I've got terrible runny nose. Don't overdo. Don't be tempted to overdo the brandy. I know I upped it a little bit last night, and when I do hold the tablespoon and I pour the brandy into it, I don't literally make it to the top. I do let it flood over the edge of it. So I would say there's more like 4 tablespoons of each, but don't go more than that at the beginning, because if there's a lot of liquid underneath the fruit and the fruit hasn't absorbed it, you can't tip that into the cake mix, okay? Because it will make the cake mix, it will change the properties of the flour and the eggs and the butter, and the cake will become very wet and it won't cook and set, okay? Oh, any more questions on Christmas cake?
Not as yet.
Not
no.
as such. Any other Christmas?
No. I've answered them all to you.
Questions on anything else? We'll have a coffee. Notice, no cookies this week. Nothing, because I've not had time to even bake cookies. Because that's the first Christmas job, which I love to do. I love to do the Christmas cake. I love the house to smell of the Christmas cake. And to me, it signifies, it really does signify now the run up to Christmas. Because as soon as we've stopped filming today, this living room and the dining room and everything starts to get stripped out, because all the Christmas decorations and ornaments and china and everything has come out of storage now, and it's all here, hidden away so you can't see it. Dozens and dozens and dozens of boxes. My friend Phil was here the other day, and I said to him, we were talking about the amount of Christmas decorations, and I said, well, you see, I've just got this. And he said, now I know you've lost it, because there is around 70 boxes, like the size of a tea chest, full to the brim of everything. So the house, after we finish filming this, is going to get stripped out, and tomorrow...
I'm glad I'm at work.
Yeah, tomorrow all the Christmas stuff will start to go, and it takes about a week to get everything done. And of course we start it with fake greenery, and then it will get fresh greenery added nearer to Christmas, which I'm going to show you how.
Jane's got a question. So have you not got a cake ready to ice?
Why would I have a Christmas cake, Jane? At the price a Christmas cake costs to make, I've got 2 ready to ice.
Paul's put a question after that. Thought you always had 1 baking? ?
Yeah, well I do. I usually have 1 that I've baked ahead of time, but I wouldn't want 2 Christmas cakes. It is that rich. I didn't intend to do 2. I did tell you I would only do the 1, but you will see the cake.
You'll see the finished product.
Out of the oven. I'll photograph that for you and put it on Facebook. But then you'll see the cake, because every week when we bake all the other Christmas stuff now, you'll see the cake every week come out, because we'll feed it on the programme so you can see the finished cake, what it's going to be like. So that's that. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'd like to say thanks, by the way, to everybody that came to the charity show at Gig Lane. Even the people that paid for tickets and then for some reason they couldn't make it. They did tell me why. No names, no pat drill. But it was wonderful that you paid for tickets, and it was lovely. And we raised £3,000 for Bury Hospice, which I think is just phenomenal. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. and it was great, and I thank you all for a most fabulous night, and we're going to do some more as well. We're going to do a few more and get some more money for their hospice, because they really don't get enough funding, and they need it all the help they can get. Is that somebody going to ask something?
Chris Conway's looking forward to the Christmas speech.
Yeah. That will be pre-recorded, and that will of course go out after 8 o'clock, so I can swear. I can't do that during the day.
Steve Beakin.
Yeah.
I was thinking what meat to have for Christmas dinner and how to make stuffing that don't stick or help it go crispy.
Right, well I'm going to do for you about a week before Christmas.
Do you not have turkey, Steve?
We only have turkey at Christmas. I'm not a great lover of swapping and changing. And if you want to be really pedantically British, turkey is not the British meat. The upper classes at Christmas ate goose, and
Pheasants.
Most ordinary people had a capon. That was what the thing was. Turkey is an American thing that sifted into England in sort of the 1950s and up to them. They were very expensive then, so it was only rich people. But we have turkey because I adore it, and we have the biggest turkey I can physically get in the oven. And this gospel truth, one year I bought a turkey that was so big it wouldn't go in the oven, so I had to jump physically on its back and snap its spine so that it was flat as go in the oven. And I am not joking. I like the biggest turkey, and I'm not one of these people who say, oh, I couldn't face turkey again. I'm sick of turkey, I'm bored, it's the same thing. I love it. The turkey has got to feed minimum 10 people on Christmas Day, and I want enough of that turkey to last in the fridge right through until New Year's Eve, because I like to do turkey sandwiches. I refuse to cook an actual meal that we sit down to over Christmas. Between Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, we live off buffets. I run buffets through the dining room, and I do not cook. I flatly refuse to be stuck in a kitchen. So it's all homemade pies and pastries and sandwiches all day long, and to me that is what Christmas is about. And I shop in a way that I know David says I shop like it's the feast, like
like it's the war.
Yeah, like the war's broke out. But I don't like to, after I've done my Christmas grocery shop, which certain things I have to start shopping for next week because I'll need them to bake stuff ready in advance. But when I do the main Christmas shop, it will take 3 cars to get back to the house. And then I refuse flatly to go to the shops for anything for 2 solid weeks. To me, Christmas Christmas starts the beginning of December, the 1st of December in our house, and everything is then Christmassy. Only Christmas music is allowed to be played, only Christmas books, Christmas magazines, everything has to be Christmas. But the main part of Christmas, for me, is 2 weeks, is the time the kids are off school. When we were kids and we were off school for 2 weeks, and Christmas ran for that solid 2 weeks, and it used to make you feel really fed up when you went back to school. That is when it's over, it's the 12th night, and I refuse to go out shopping for food in between that. At all. Nothing. So, as far as meat's concerned, turkey Christmas Day, I always bake...
Steve has turkey anyway, he's replied.
Yeah, good, good. I always bake a ham for Christmas Eve. And now it's only a few of us, it's not as big as it used to be. I used to do hams this big, which you can see on Facebook when there was a lot of us, but there isn't anymore. So I tend to do a small ham. And then New Year's Eve, I'll do probably pork. I usually do a big roast pork for Christmas Eve. As far as stuffing, because it was stuffing you asked about, wasn't it, darling?
Well, you're finally getting to the question now, jeez.
Yeah,
that's 20 minutes ago.
I always make cornbread stuffing. So what you need to do is go to the cornbread recipe, which is still on Facebook, or you should be on my YouTube channel now. And it's on the YouTube channel. Make your cornbread up, cool it, slice it into blocks, and freeze it. Because if you're going to make the stuffing I make, you're going to need the cornbread, because it's the cornbread that we make, which makes the stuffing really moist and gorgeous and crisp and golden on the outside and brown and absolutely stuff. I only make cornbread stuffing to go with everything. I never make anything else. And I certainly don't make that hideous old-fashioned English one that's got mincemeat, and I can't think of anything worse, to be honest and truthful. Or chestnuts. We don't like things that are soft with like hard lumps in it, like chestnuts. I don't like things like that. So we tend to do that. Yeah.
Hi Jamie, how are you? It's Jamie, John.
Hello,
said,
John.
Nana, I need your selection of dates for the show.
Oh right, love. As soon as we're over, I'll message you, darling, of when I'm free. Okay? Which is quite a lot. I'll message you when I'm free, and I'm so itching to come, and there'd be 3 of us, honey bun, if that was okay.
Katerina, a fortune. That's answered your question.
What did Katerina ask?
How much do you spend on Christmas food over Christmas? A fortune. See you soon, Val.
it's not an over fortune. David will say it's a fortune. It's not. It's not much more than my normal food grocery bill, because I do only shop monthly. I only shop each month. As everybody knows by now, I loathe, detest and hate supermarkets. So I only shop once a month. On the 15th of every month I shop, and that's it. And I fill the freezers and the fridges and all the rest of it, and that's it. It lasts a month. I don't spend an overlot because most of the stuff I make myself. And I don't do all this ridiculous, it's Christmas and famous frozen food shops bring out these revolting cakes with stuff running out the middle, and it looks like this big on the television. You buy it and it's this big, and people think, oh, it's only £3, I'll get a couple of those, and it's just an unadulterated load of old codswallop. So anything we eat is homemade. I never buy anything whatsoever that is shop bought dessert wise or to go on. So I don't even buy store bought pork pies and things like that. I make my own, which we'll try and get that in as well before Christmas.
Steve said thank you for answering his question.
Welcome.
Paul, would you consider brown meat at Christmas? No, Paul.
No. Anything else?
Not at the moment, no.
No.
Alan Jones loves a buffet also.
Yeah, I do, Alan. I just, for me, it's my holiday as well, and I have a vision of what Christmas should be like, and Christmas has to be in my own home, and everything has to be perfect. I'm not to the point where if something's gone wrong, it's going to wreck Christmas like these people do. Just cob it out the door and I'll start again. Not bothered.
Hi, Marge. Marge is watching.
Hi, Marge. But I do like it to be very, very traditional and very nice. And it's also my holiday, so apart from cooking Christmas dinner, which that I'll show you, so easy ways around it. So easy ways around it. And we always do 4 to 5 courses, and I just have everything is pre-prep everything, and it's just so easy to do. So I'm not stuck in the kitchen all day, because we don't eat Christmas dinner at lunchtime like British people do. We don't have Christmas dinner until around 7 in the evening. Okay, we actually have it at dinner time. To me, it's too much when you've just got up and you've had breakfast, and then you're having a huge big Christmas lunch, and then you're completely unconscious all afternoon, and you're bloated, and I can't abide pots all over the kitchen and dishes and things. So.
Hi, Kyle.
No. Hello, Kyle. Hello, my dear. Look at me, Kyle. Not even had time today to blow the perm out. It's fucking curly. I look like Miss Teasy Weezy, for God's sake.
Hair is glorious.
Glorious, yeah, because I look like you. I look like you. I should have had time. See, after doing the show on Thursday, it really needed washing out and re-rollering, but I didn't. I just washed it and left it, and so it's a bit, you know. Anyway.
Alan, to answer your question, I can answer that. Many, many litres.
Of what?
And what do you think?
What, drink?
Yeah, how much fog could you get through at Christmas?
At Christmas?
Many litres.
Many.
Tom Bradshaw.
Because we also have a big Christmas party at Christmas. It used to be on Boxing Day when we lived in Spain. But now it's on the 28th of December, and we have about 35 guests. So trust me, there's litres of fog come through. Plus eggnog on Christmas Eve and anything.
Kyle loves it anyway.
Anything that's laced. What was that other question?
Kyle loves it, yeah.
Kyle loves it.
Tom Bradshaw said, what have you asked Santa for?
I don't. If I'm being honest, actually, my cousin asked me the other day, she said, what would you like for Christmas? And what I do is, and this is gospel truth, every year I have written a Christmas list from being so big, like you do as a child, and I draw myself a little picture. I'm like a kid, and I draw a little picture at the top of a Christmas tree. So, and I write my Christmas list, which I usually start to write about October, November. And it starts with the most bizarrest of things, you know, at the top, which are ridiculously expensive. We don't do that. David and I stopped buying expensive Christmas presents many, many years ago, because there's just no point, because we have everything that we want anyway, and the best Christmas present I ever got was him. So I don't really need anything. I don't want for anything. I've got everything I want. I'm very, very lucky. So Christmas list, I always say to everybody, buy off the list, then I'm not disappointed. Not that I'm disappointed, that makes me sound grateful, but I'm not. But it's easier because most of it is really, really cheapy things. I'll put things on it like, oh, a milk jug, you know, that I've seen somewhere that could only be like £3, and I'd be thrilled if somebody bought me that. I really, really would. And I
I wouldn't, so don't get any ideas.
I love house things for Christmas. That is my favourite. I'm not one of these people that think it's awful to buy me a mixer or a Hoover or something like that for Christmas. I think that's a fabulous gift. I'm a housewife and I love gifts like that. And I wouldn't ever go out and buy that myself. So, you know, and I wouldn't think, oh, the Hoover's a bit on the wonky side, I'll go and buy a new one. I won't. I'll mend it with tape. I'm not the type I don't throw away. So, yeah.
Next question.
Next
Steve
question.
said Nanny home is stunning. Plenty of boggers low. Yeah. Bobby Lade. Terry, do you bake your ham in a pastry?
No. I bake it. I do a honey glazed ham. And I bake it long and slow because we like it cold. I don't like it hot because I don't like meat hot because you can't slice through it properly. So I usually bake it the day before Christmas Eve and I'll sort of semi-pot roast it in a Dutch oven with a grid in the bottom of it with a little bit of stock, the ham in, the lid on, in the oven on a very low light. Start it off very high, about 250 for 20 minutes, drop the temperature right down to about 110 and then I leave that then for at least, depending on the size, for the size we use, about 3 hours. Then after 3 hours, take the top off, score the top through, coat it with honey and a lovely whole grain British mustard and cover it with that, back in the oven so that nicely crisps up and that's it. It's so easy, just so easy.
Lee Leby said, what's your thoughts on making a Yule log? And I love your hair, few Carmen's, be sorted, love.
Thank you, darling. I don't love it. I don't like my hair curly like this, but thanks. Yeah, I like you. I love to do. You mean a Yule log as in a Christmas one with like the cake?
It's that roll
like
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like a Swiss roll.
Nice.
Yeah, I do make that. In fact, we might, if I can get that in, because we've only got. I was working out yesterday. We've only got 5. I think it's either 4 or 5 shows before Christmas. Before we go off the air for 2 weeks. And I think I'll try and get that in. I'm trying to get mince pies in for you because I was asked for that. And we'll do the pastry recipe again because people seem to be having a problem with making the pastry. So I'm going to do that again with you. So we'll make the mince pies by making the pastry and all the rest of it. I'm not going to make the mincemeat. The recipe for that is in my album, Nana's Cookery Box on Facebook. Go to that and the recipe for that is on there. It's so easy. For me to make that on there, you're basically watching me boil something in a pan and waiting for it to go cold. So it's pointless. But I'll try and get the Yule log in as well because we're going to do Christmas cookies, mince pies, a few other bits and pieces, and then everybody wants me to do this savoury business and show you how to make the stuffing, which is dog easy. It's so easy. Okay.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. We'll put. I'll put the Christmas show dates up. By the way, it's tonight or tomorrow that will go on, and we are in. Salford in Urmston, which is an afternoon show, so I don't know whether you can make that one. Liverpool, North Wales,
Sheffield.
So I'm all over the place. But this year, I've got corporate before that, which means that I can't advertise those and tickets. But from the 14th, the shows from the 14th onwards. Are available for tickets, or some of them are free entries. I'm in Whitefield in Manchester, which of course is my favourite venue to do, so I sincerely hope if you're Manchester, you come into that one because we have a fabulous time, and we really do that. It's a beautiful, beautiful club. Been there for years with it, so it's fab. Well, I think that's sort of it for today. So don't forget, I'll just recap on your timings. Once your cake has gone into the oven, it's going to go in normal oven 140, fan 125. In the oven, make sure you've put your little cover that I've shown you how to make on the top. In the oven for 4 hours. Don't be tempted to open the oven door. Okay? By now, that's only been in there 15-20 minutes and I can smell it now and the whole house is starting to smell like Christmas. It's just divine. Don't open your oven for 4 hours. Please, if you open the oven, it's going to go thump and drop. After your 4 hours, open it, just don't bring it out of the oven and test with a toothpick. Touch it with your finger. If it springs back, it's sort of done. Put a toothpick in. If it comes out clean, it's cooked. Take it out. If it doesn't come out clean, leave it in the oven for possibly another 10 to 15 minutes. But keep checking. Don't leave it any longer than 15 minutes without keep checking because it's very easy to burn. And if it's not that it burns, it will also dry out. And if it becomes dry, it's, you know, you've spoiled it, but it shouldn't do. If you follow exactly to the letter as I'm telling you, you'll have the most beautiful, beautiful Christmas cake. And also, if you've got kids, let them ice it. You know, you can buy. I don't make my own icing because I don't like the hard white icing. I like fondant icing, and I'm honestly not so precious that I will start to make that myself. I really will. Or marzipan. Whether Delia tells you to or not, it's a total waste of time. So I buy ready rolled marzipan and I buy ready rolled icing. You know, and let the kids ice it. That makes it more fun. If it looks an absolute sight and they stick all the Christmas baubles or whatever they want to put on the top of it, that's great. That's what Christmas is about if you've got kids. So thanks for tuning in today. We've got a special show for you next week, which I'm not going to tell you about yet. And I'll see you next Sunday. And don't forget, if you're going to come to one of the shows, make sure you book early. Don't leave it till the last minute. The dates and the venues and contacts will all be on Facebook at the latest by tomorrow evening. So for me, Terry, and David, say tra, David.
Tra, David.
We'll see you next Sunday. Love you all. Bye.